Hey, and welcome to our video review session this week with No Bones About a Puppy Day School. So today, this week in particular, I want you to think more about situational use of our skills. So what does that mean? So what I want you to do is think about a place. So this week in particular, we're going to talk about the kitchen, a place where you do food prep. And how can we apply the skills that we've been using in that environment? So this week specifically, we've been talking about Leave It. We've been practicing teaching your puppy skills to ignore things that they feel are valuable. And what I find a lot of times with my students is that we learn a skill and you teach the skill, but you don't really think about how to employ that skill in your everyday life. So from now on, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about different places and where I want you to be practicing these skills, because that's what simplifies your life. How to take all of these little behaviors that we've been practicing and bring them into real world context. So we practiced last week recall. One of the rules of recall was have the end result be amazing. So in the kitchen, it's normally where we feed your dog. So when would a time be that I can just automatically add in a recall? How about when you're about to food prep? So you're gonna say your puppy's name and you're gonna get that, maybe that bowl of food is already ready, and then the most amazing thing happens, we put down their dinner. So we've already got one repetition in, hopefully several, because you're feeding your dog a couple times a day. Then we're practicing this week, Leave It. So we are going to take a skill that we're doing in a very methodical way. We're doing something called the It's Your Choice game. It's basically teaching your puppy, if you have a handful of kibble in your hand, you're going to sort of do this open-close thing where you open your fist, the puppy comes in and tries to steal it, you close your fist, and you do that over and over until the puppy starts to pause because they're figuring out they can't really steal that food. As soon as they pause, you're going to say yes, you're going to take that piece of kibble and you're going to tell your puppy take it. So they start to figure out, oh my gosh, all I have to do to win this game, i.e. get the kibble, is to stop trying to steal it. So that's the most basic form of teaching this skill of Leave It. Not screaming at your puppy, leave it, and hoping that they don't steal something. It needs to be a choice of which the end result is valuable for your dog. Because honestly, think about it. Leave It means we're teaching your puppy to ignore something that they really want. So it's really important that they see the value in practicing this. So you'll see that in action. And then how can we turn that into a skill that we utilize every day? I'm cooking. I want my puppy to learn to ignore food prep, maybe hang out on their bed. That would be a go to your place. Toss kibble over there. And oops, I drop a piece of food. I don't want it to be a mad dash. Maybe I cover it up with my foot and I wait for my puppy to decide to ignore it. And as soon as they ignore it, I'm gonna say yes and give them a piece of kibble. So that would be a place where in the kitchen, we now have utilized our recall word. We've utilized practicing our Leave It game, and we're practicing our place cue. I love to have a little tie down where my puppy maybe just hangs out on a bed, but they can't keep getting up because I've got a little tether next to their bed, some fun toys for them, things to do. So right there's 3 things that I'm utilizing. There's one more concept that I want you to think about. Dogs naturally have an instinct to guard things that they find, we call it resource guarding. So resource guarding could be a thing like a bowl of food. It could be, I see it happen with puppies all the time, a water bowl. Things that you don't necessarily think should be something that a dog is interested in guarding. I have seen puppies get on a bed or a sofa, and anytime somebody approaches, resource guarding. A human, I've seen, a dog and their favorite person sitting on the sofa, and all of a sudden someone comes over and I'm resource guarding this situation. So The kitchen is another place we can work on resource guarding, meaning that when you approach, good things happen. So we call them food bowl bonuses. So what I like to do is anytime a puppy is eating, hello, go find it. So anytime a puppy is eating, I casually walk by and throw something really delicious, a very high value treat in their bowl. So there's the food bowl bonus. If I see any uncomfortableness at all with a dog, meaning they start to stiffen up, maybe just like raise a lip, a low growling, if I see any of that, I'm going to work very heavily on just tossing treats near their bowl. Maybe I won't come that close. When I see that puppy start to like the fact that I'm approaching, then I might bend down and throw something in and actually touch their bowl. And if they're really comfortable with that, I might actually bend down, pick up their bowl, throw a couple good things in and put it back down. So I never want my puppy to be in a position where they are uncomfortable with me approaching things. And yelling at a puppy or a dog or telling them no in positions or in situations where they are resource guarding makes them even more wary. That is not what we need to do. We need to counter condition that behavior. So if you start seeing things like that are concerning to you, that's a time you need to reach out to a trainer and really figure out what the best way is to deal with that. So another thing you can work on in the kitchen, food bowl bonuses. So again, I want you to think more situational and how we're taking all these skills and building them into our everyday lives. So that's your tip for the week, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.